Hello and welcome to Nkumat Online Academy. Today we want to study a very important topic and we call it nutrient cycle. Nutrient cycle is talking about the way nutrient or food is circulated in the ecosystem from its original source to other sources and then back to its original source. For instance, the movement of water. Someone can go to sea, take water and drink, and then the water will come out as a sweat, get evaporated to the sky, and then the water in the sky will condense and come back to earth, and then from earth it will move down to sea, which is the original source. So this takes a cycle moving to other sources and then back to the original source. That is what we call nutrient cycle. It takes a circular form, and that is why we say that it is nutrient cycle. We actually have three nutrient cycles that are important for us to study at this level. Number one, water cycle. Number two, carbon cycle. And number three, nitrogen cycle. We are going to look at each of them one after the other. Now let's study water cycle. Water cycle talks about the way water moves from its original source to other sources and then back to the original source of the water. That is what you call water cycle, like what I've described previously about water moving from ocean or from sea, then to man, and from man to sky, and from sky back to earth, and then earth to sea again. That is a cycle or a water cycle, the one that involves water. The cycle or the movement of nutrient that involves water, we call it water cycle. The water cycle is also called hydrologic cycle. We also call it H2O cycle. So whichever one you prefer to use, you are free to use it. Water cycle, hydrologic cycle, or H2O cycle. Water is also called H2O. Now, important terms that we use when describing water cycle. If you want to describe water cycle, there are terms that are very, very important for you to know, for you to see, or for you to understand how water moves. Number one is atmosphere. That is what we call the sky. It is a collection of different gases that covers the earth or up above the earth. We call it the atmosphere. That is where the water will gather. Maybe from the sea, it will now evaporate and everything will move up to the atmosphere, which we also call sky. Now, condensation. Condensation means changing of gas to water. Like when you are boiling your water, it will start evaporating. What is coming out is what we call vapor or gas or water gas. Water gas is called vapor. So from that gas or vapor, it can cool down. When it cools down, it becomes condensed and turns back to water. So that is what we call condensation. Condensation means the cooling down of water vapor and then turning it to water, or changing of gas or water vapor to liquid. Evaporation. Evaporation means changing of liquid to gas, just opposite of condensation. In condensation, we change gas to liquid, and in evaporation, we change liquid to gas. So two of them are opposite to each other. Now, precipitation. Precipitation means the condensation, the special name for condensation of water vapor from the sky. Before it begins to rain, the water in the sky, they will cool down and start condensing, and that is what we call precipitation. Now, infiltration is the movement of water that is on the ground to the ocean. When water falls or when rain falls, it will first of all fall to the ground or to the earth, and then from the earth it will be moving slowly down until it reaches the sea or the ocean. That is what we call infiltration, movement of water from the surface of the earth to the underground level is what we call infiltration. Now let's look at water cycle, a structure or the cycle of the water, and see how it looks like. Now this is a typical example of water cycle. This is just a simple water cycle. It can have so many other sources, but this represents a simple water cycle. You can see here is the sea, water moving from sea to stream, and then through runoff, maybe you channel it through a pipe, and then it comes to a stream, and from stream somebody can drink it. Through drinking, it will come to a man, and then from man, maybe it's through sweating or evaporation. Through evaporation, it will come to the atmosphere, and then from the atmosphere, it will come through precipitation through the side. It will come back to the ground, and from ground, through infiltration, it will return back to the sea. Or from the atmosphere, the water can fall straight to the sea through precipitation, and the water in the stream can also go to plants, and then from plants through what we call transpiration. Transpiration is the escape of water molecule from plant leaves. So just like the way we sweat, plants, they do what we call transpiration. So through transpiration, water will come out from plant and then escape to the atmosphere. The water in the atmosphere will now precipitate again and then come down to the ground or to the sea. So this represents the water cycle. This is actually how the water cycle looks. We can include so many other sources and then show how it will return back to the sea. Yeah, so we've talked about importance of important terms in water cycle, and we've talked about water cycle, and we also talked about nutrient cycle and the types. I believe that this lesson is very clear. Thank you.